Okay, we're live, guys. Hey, guys, DJMK here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be doing yet another part of Cinderella phenomenon. I spent a number of days thinking about this decision, but I think I feel a little more confident now about what the decision will be. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying your day. I know this week officially makes it a week since the lockdown started in my home state, but I am hanging in there and I'm trying to take it one step at a time. First off, happy vernal equinox, a happy Ostara for those who do celebrate it. I know it's a little different than what you hoped, but nevertheless, the sun will rise again, to quote Loki from Avengers Endgame. So, or is that Infinity War? That was Infinity War, never mind. That was Infinity War. Wow, I mixed up the two films. But you know what I mean. The sun will rise in us again. So things will get better. So just hang in there. And I think also the other thing that we've kind of been learning so far is to just not be so closed off to help, especially the spiritual and emotional help that we need from each other and mental help. There are loads of hotlines ready and available for you to call if you need an extra help. And of course, kind of showing what truly matters. And especially when things are into chaos or out of order or sky high, how do we react? How do we respond? So it's very important that we are mindful, we are aware but not anxious, and more importantly, that we remember who we are in the midst of this chaos. Ultimately, we're human, so we gotta change some of the status quo of how we've been looking at things and look at the things that truly matter to us, and what we want to do in the future, whether it's getting out tomorrow or getting out a few weeks down the line. How do we want to live our lives? So take this spring as an opportunity to put a reset button on your life. Like, what are things that you're looking forward to once you get out? Or for those who are a bit more on the introverted side, what are things you're going to enjoy while you're inside? Because you got to get out of the house at some point and restock. So what are you going to do in the meantime? Please, just let yourselves know. This is maybe kind of hyper aware about how much more of an ambivert I am than just an introvert alone. But again, we're never really an extreme of one side or the other. Because if we were, we would all be calling hotlines left and right. But, I mean, I thought I was more on the introverted side of the spectrum, but I was completely wrong. Turns out I'm more ambiverted because all I'm thinking now, like in the beginning, I was fine, but maybe like 3 days in or 4 days in, all I'm thinking is, what are stuff I'm gonna do when I'm getting out of here? What's the first thing I'm gonna do when I get out? And I think today I kind of came to the realization, well, more like last night, but today I kind of came to the realization that I kind of came up with the wrong approach. Instead, I focus more on like, what are things that I can shape in my life right now that I'm still stuck indoors? Or what are things that I can like craft while I'm still at home that when I get out, it will make my life easier in the long run? Because I kind of realized a lot of things that I've kind of been running from a lot of things in my life. I've been procrastinating or delaying to take the first step or just not doing a lot of the things that I want to do because of fear and procrastination. And this is a time where you kind of had to, kind of, like with all these things, when you have nothing else to do, you learn who it is you are when you basically have nothing else to basically sustain you. Who are you when you've got none of your usual structures left? What are things that you can rely upon yourself internally that even in the midst of crisis, you got that one, two, or three things, or whatever number of things that you can rely on, even when things seem to be falling apart. Like, what are things that you can rely on? And then you go with that. And then you think about the things that, well, if you're able to get out of your house, or even if you're not able to get out of your house, like what are things that you would want, like that you want to do? Like it's basically like this is just one, like even though time's still going forward, this is one giant pause button in the entire universe. Like what are things that you can do to make yourself feel better or to make your life much more enchanting from this point forward? I mentioned a little bit on Twitter. I definitely want to get more fluent in my Japanese. I have been trying to do practices on my own, but it just hasn't been making any headway. But now that I actually have the time and the focus to do so, I think that's what I'm going to focus on during this time that I've been pausing. I'm also going to like take good care of my skin and my body because, especially my skin, because like my skin, it's been really dry. So, and I bought all this moisturizing stuff. So this is the time I can actually take my time and actually take some good TLC, take good care of it. And then, finally, as soon as I get out, first thing, I'm going to take care of my hair. Like, it's in dire need of a spa day, and I'm also in dire need of a proper vacay. Like, this thing just basically reorganized my priorities. Besides my entertainment, but also just, in general, just my approach to life. I've just been, not gonna lie, I've been sucked into just despair and sadness for a good number of months, and this has just made me reassess entirely. Of course, if you're struggling or genuinely feeling anxious or afraid, don't be afraid to talk to somebody, whether it's your best friend or your family member or a pastor on the phone or mental health services. There's plenty of things you can go for to get help. One of the things that I've also been thinking about as well is creating a small spiritual circle on Discord. I have a Discord server, in case you're wondering. The link is in the description of my YouTube channel. But yeah, I have a Discord server, and it's a little quiet, and I could use more members. But I have been thinking as well. Originally, the first thing I was thinking of as soon as I got out was creating a spiritual circle, more specifically a women's circle, and to come together and talk about being a woman in the 21st century. That's including those who have transitioned, and non-binary individuals. Just how do you embody the divine feminine in yourself? Because we all have it. We all have it. It's just how do we embody it? Originally, I was thinking of starting a few spiritual circles in person, but that might be a long time coming. So in the meantime, I'm thinking maybe I'll start one on Discord. So for those who are interested in doing that, please let me know. Just jump onto Discord and mention it on like the general page or something, and then I can start up a thread and we could start meeting maybe every day or a certain week or something. I also am offering readings as well, so if you guys need any support, just feel free to let me know. I know, a little bit off topic considering this is supposed to be a gaming playthrough, but honestly, I want to give you as much support as I can as a content creator, but more so just as a human being. So anything that I can do to give back to you, I am entirely open and willing and ready and welcome to do so. Whoop. Almost like down my microphone. Because there was a meditation circle that I came across earlier by Sama Corral, aka Flourishing Goddess, on YouTube. She did an amazing YouTube live stream / meditation for all of us who are feeling this anxiety. And I admit I have been feeling very disconnected spiritually, and I feel like little things like that have kind of been tethering me back, giving me back a little bit of that resolve and things that I've been feeling really lost about, or things that I thought I lost touch with completely. It's been coming back. So huge thanks to people like that who have been supportive, and everybody needs somebody to give support, regardless if you're spiritual or not. So please, if you need it, don't be ashamed to ask for it, because we got plenty of time now. So come on, get the support you need. And of course, if you have any symptoms, if you're asymptomatic, just do yourself a favor, stay home, get plenty of rest, do what you need to do. And And more importantly, just be gentle with yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, because like you're already going through enough as is right now. Don't beat yourself up any further. So, final thing, a couple of things, other things I want to bring up. First off, there's this really cool thing that's been trending on Twitter called Gamers vs. COVID-19. I just signed the pledge for it. So I'm streaming in support of that initiative. Again, link will be in the description in YouTube. So if you want to join the pledge, feel free to do so. You can type in your gamer tag or your gamer tag, your email, your name to do so, and then you can also join their Discord server, Gamers vs. COVID-19, which is pretty cool. Another thing is that I also got a recent haul. I think I mentioned in the last stream, but in case I didn't, I don't think I did. I got a pre-owned 3DS. It's one of those limited edition ones. It's the old version though, so there might be some games that I might not be able to play on here. But nevertheless, I've been playing this for the past few days. That's why I also haven't been streaming online lately. And I've been playing this, and specifically I've been playing the Zero Escape series, specifically this one. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. And I've gotten the 2 worst endings so far, and it's getting frustrating. It's like I'm trying everything. I like the stories in here, but it's frustrating that I'm just not getting the good ending in here. So I'm hoping the next time I may have to go like a super more radical route for this game, and maybe I'll finally get a good ending or close to one at bare minimum, or maybe I have to play 6 times, or is it 5? I forget which. I have to play all the times in order to finally get the ending that I really want, so who knows. But anyway, the other things that I got this for 2 for the price of 1, and these are intact. Trauma Center, Under the Knife 1 and 2. And it's really funny because, fun fact, these stories actually take place around this period. It's really funny. So, actually, Under the Knife actually takes place in 2018, and Under the Knife 2 takes place in 2021. So we're kind of a bit before and after this timeline, but still around the same period. So it's kind of funny that, like, in 2006 and 2008, they kind of predicted something like this would happen around this period. It's really funny. And then there's another visual novel on itch.io. I may play it on here. I don't know. Called The Gray Plague. And it takes place in 2020, and it was made in 2017. So... and on top of that, the characters and I share the same birth date, down to the year. So that's really funny. It's like it basically predicted my life, though. Instead of being a doctor of medicine, I'm a doctor of souls, or at least I'm trying to be a doctor of souls. But anyway, yeah, I'll talk about some other things, but yeah, that's pretty much the big stuff that's been popping up right now. So, yeah, I've been distracting you guys long enough, with some of the things that I've been talking about. So, without further ado, let us continue on with Cinderella Phenomenon, because I have been constantly thinking about this decision that I need to make in the game for so long. It's about time I did. So, let's go for this. Also, I figured out the reason why my headphones were not working. It turns out, for Apple devices, you actually have to set up the multi-output on purpose, so that way it also goes through Bluetooth headphones. So I included that on the mid-eye setup, and now it works perfectly fine. Oh, it's going through the speakers too. Whoops. Oh well, so you're going to be hearing double through the microphone, but that's not a big deal, is it? I hope not. But anyway, that is one of the risks of using a multi-output setting. But yeah, so we're in a critical juncture of Waltz's route, where we have to decide whether to refuse following through with Mithras' plan, or to accept. Because declining, yes, may refuse us to go through Mithras' plan, but on the other hand, may more likely get the king killed despite his military experience. On the other hand, if we agreed, we could get keep the king alive, but then Hilda would be released as a result. So it's a bit mixed. But after so many days of deliberation, I decided that I would agree, because the 3 hints that I got on this route, again, from the online walkthrough, is be confident, be trusting, though this time you will not have to listen to Waltz. You have to not listen to Waltz, which was one time that I've already did, and be the most selfless person you could be in this route. And in this case, maybe the most selfless thing is to go along with the villain's plan, at least for a little bit. So I'm going to risk it and say I agree. The reason why I say I'm 60% sure about my decision is because, in particular, in Lucett's bedroom, when King Gennaro came into the room, I was debating whether to keep hidden or come out, and I decided to come out on purpose, so that way I can save the trouble of the king thinking that we are improper intruders. So that's the one decision I'm not 100% sure about. But most of the others I feel pretty confident, based on the 3 hints I got. So without further ado, let's go with agreeing with this plan. So at bare minimum, the king has a little bit more time to escape. So let's see. I may not have a good relationship with the king, but I cannot forsake his life. Defeated, I nod at Sir Mithros. I will help you, Mithros. A wise decision, princess. Lucette, don't... Oh, dang! He still got hurt no matter what. Okay. But again, I haven't done the first decision. But anyway. The king suddenly cries out in pain as Varg plunges his sword into his arm. The king's sleeve is now slowly dyed maroon with his blood. I would stop talking if I were you, your majesty. Stop! I cringe at the sight of the king's blood. You said you wouldn't hurt him. A small wound wouldn't kill him, your highness. He's still alive, after all. Varg, kindly escort our lovely guest to a comfortable prison cell. I take a few steps as Varg approaches us. All I managed to do was back myself into the wall. Varg looks at me amused, like a cat toying with a mouse. He takes another step, but I do not get to see the movements he makes afterward. A bright light engulfs the area, eliciting an agitated hiss from Mithros. Magic! But how? When the light clears, Varg is still standing, his eyes on my feet. I follow his gaze. Oh! The third good deed! The spell is broken! I forgot about that! That was the third good deed she needed to break the curse. Of course, that would have been entirely moot, considering that the curse would have broken when he touched Tenebrum, but nevertheless, sooner better than later. My shoes have been replaced with 2 beautiful glass slippers. I broke my curse? What did I do? The king looks at me, his eyes hazy. He opens his mouth to speak, but then stops when Mithros comes to hover just above him, his expression fixed into a glare. Oh, how charming. But your broken curse will not help you now, princess. Now be a good girl and allow Varg to escort you to your cell. Varg takes us to one of the prison cells and locks us up. This time, be a good girl and don't try to escape. I scowl at him. He only smirks in response. Feisty as always. He flashes me a lopsided smile before taking his leave. Lucette! The king collapses to the ground with his back to one of the walls. I quickly run to his side so I can inspect his wound. Does he have anything I can use to tend to this wound? I notice something in one of his pockets, quickly lean forward to pull it out. A handkerchief. It is small, but it will have to do. I take the king's handkerchief and wrap it around his wounded arm. I'm sorry. Your injury is my fault. The king cups my cheek and turns my head so I'm facing him. The gesture is so gentle it moves me to tears. A father should be the one to protect his child. Always. His face is twisted in pain as he stares at me, eyes brimming with tears. I see the recognition in his eyes. Having reunited with my father like this makes me realize that I still cared for him. Please forgive me. I already have. The words take a great weight off of my heart. It's as if the ice that has been shrouding it for so long is finally melting away. Without another word, my father throws his arms around me, trapping me in a warm embrace. Oh my god. I didn't expect this at all, but oh my god. I mean, we've been following this character for about a year now, and... well, 2 years actually. But man, she has changed so much. Especially with Waltz's ending, I'm looking forward to see how she transforms. This is the first time he's ever hugged me. I feel tears brimming in my eyes, and soon I'm crying as I bury my face into my father's shoulder. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, my dear daughter. We stay like this for what seems to a lifetime, leaning against each other and crying, silently asking for forgiveness. Once we're more relaxed, I sit down beside my father and tell him what has transpired since I was cursed. His expression becomes darker with every word that I speak. You have suffered so much, and I've not been able to ease the suffering in any way. No, my life as a commoner has shown me things I've never appreciated before. It was more fulfilling than my life in the palace. The moment I became cursed might be the first moment I started truly living. I take a deep breath to contemplate the question that's been in my heart all this time. Your Majesty, have you ever loved me? I am terrified, but I still force myself to look right at the king. I've always loved you, Lucette. I value you more than my own life. You're my everything, my daughter. I blink at him, my eyes filled with tears. I've waited so long to hear those words from you. If you loved me, why were you not there for me? Why did you let Mother do this to me? Was it because I was her daughter? It is true that you are her daughter, but you are also mine. I didn't even remember how we... His voice trails off when he avoids my eyes. He sighs softly. I was put under a spell that night. Months later, you came along. I thought I could never bring myself to love you, not when you were the witch's daughter. But you were different. She was darkness and you were light. And then she corrupted you. Hilda forbade me to get close to you. She was afraid that I would influence you to betray her. She told me that she would seal you away completely if I ever approached you. I couldn't bear the thought of losing my own daughter, so I did as she demanded. I had to watch you grow up from afar. I had to push you away. The only thing I could do for you was to help you celebrate your birthday every year. Then why didn't you talk with her more often after she died? That is the one question I have. Anyway, the birthday surprises every year, the letters that led to the secret birthday rooms, those surprises were always the highlight of my birthday. This whole time, it was you who planned the surprises? I could not let you know that it was I who planned the surprises. The people smile that you had on your face when you saw all your gifts was more than enough. I'm really sorry for everything, Lucette. For not being a good father, for not being there for you, for pushing you away. After your mother died. He pauses, then shakes his head. After I thought she died, I thought I'd make it up to you. But I feel miserably as your father. You're already so far away from me. I tried to get close to you, but I drove you away. I did not blame you. I think back to all those times when he tried to talk to me or approach me. I would always walk away or refuse to talk to him. Because I hated him. I was convinced he didn't love me. I tried, but I tried too late and not hard enough. I should have tried to better understand you. I should have tried harder to see what your mother had done to you. I never expected any sort of forgiveness, and yet you still gave it to me. But now I'm at a loss as to what I can do to make it up to you. But you're here now, right? I smile at him hesitantly, and he smiles back. He leans forward to place a kiss on my forehead, even as he wipes a tear away. I love you, Lucette. Oh my gosh! Oh, I felt that. I love you too, Father. He rests his hand on my cheek. Allow me to make it up to you. Allow me to protect you. He cannot bring her back, Lucette. There would be too many consequences. But I refuse to help them, and they will kill you. Father shakes his head and smiles. If I have to give up my life to give you and our kingdom a brighter future, then so be it.
You only got to be a dad. You only got to be a dad for like a few minutes, and already like,
I knew it. He's gonna die in this ending, and I actually gonna like him too a lot. Princess, it's almost time to go. Father moves to stand in front of me. I won't let you take her. Varg doesn't answer. He silently taps his cane to the ground, carrying the same energy force as before, sending Father back into the wall with an invisible force. Father! Father staggers back to his feet and gazes at me with a pained expression. Don't do this, Lucette. I ball my heads in tight fists. I have no other choice. I'm sorry, Father, but I cannot let them kill you. I try to smile at him reassuringly before walking away with Varg. The last thing I hear is him calling my name before Varg closes the door, and there's silence in the hallway. I'm once again standing in front of Mother's crystallized form. It's time, Princess. Now, put your hands over the crystal. I stare at my mother's crystallized form in silence, but fear takes a hold of my body. Time is of the essence, Princess. I do as commanded and snap my hands on the surface of the crystal. Moments later, the clock strikes 12, and my body suddenly grows heavy. A strange power begins to flow through me. What is happening? I attempt to pull my hands back, but to no avail. Not only are they heavy, but they feel as if they're glued to the crystal. Even as I struggle to move, I feel my energy dimming as the crystal grows brighter and brighter. Yes! Yes! I blink a few times as tears begin to sting my eyes. I bite my lip in an attempt to keep myself from falling unconscious, and the effort only makes me taste blood. Lucette! Oh my god! Varg broke out, Varg was dissolved. Ooh. Oh wait, no, it's Waltz, never mind. Not Fritz. The M with a Z. The TZ. Forgive me for making a mistake. Out of the corner of my eyes, I catch a glimpse of Waltz by the door, his hand glowing as he prepares to cast a spell. Waltz? Waltz's eyes meet mine, his expression contorting in anger as he turns to glare at Mithros. This is madness, Myth! You're too late, Waltz. Just a little bit more and the energy transfer will be complete. And my queen will be free from her prison. I won't let you do this. Waltz releases a spell at Mithros, who quickly conjures a shield to protect himself. I feel so weak. I feel my knees giving out. The next thing I know, Waltz stands beside me with a dagger. He drives the edge of the dagger into Tenebrarum's surface, cracking it slightly. And then, I'm free. Waltz catches me in his arms, just before my body hits the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Stay with me, Lucette. My body relaxes when I feel his arms around me. I squint up at his face, but his features are blurry. I had to blink a few times to clear my vision. Oh my god! Okay. Which response do I go for? Does it matter here? Is this beast trusting? So, trusting, I'll lean towards, I knew you'd come back. I'm tempted to say, what took you so long? But I'm going to say, I knew you'd come back. Thank you for trusting me. I'll always come back for you, no matter the risks. Thank you. Don't speak, Princess. Save your strength. How did you get in here? What? It looks like we made it just in time. Parfait steps through the hole in the wall that her outburst of magic created. She looks solemn. You. How dare you show your face here? You, who tried to kill my beloved queen. Kill? Mithros places his hand to cast a spell, but Parfait quickly freezes him in the place with a flick of her wrist. But you forget! Lucis Bearer! I'm surprised, but then I realized that Parfait is the Lucis Bearer. Even in a weakened state, she seems like she's a force to be reckoned with. She turns to face me with a weak smile on her face. As the bearer of the crystal arm, Lucis, it's my duty to stop Hildur. Such is my goal, Even back then. Even when the two of us were dear friends. While Parfait is speaking, Varg slowly moves forward with his cane. He seems just about ready to bring it down to the ground when Parfait turns in place and casts a spell. The magic hits the cane head on, shattering it on impact. Varg, however, seems surprisingly calm. It's a good thing that wasn't the only weapon I had, huh? Varg suddenly turns towards Parfait, something silver and sharper glids in his hand. I forgot! Dagger! Parfait doesn't even move as she casts the spell, knocking Varg back against the wall. The knife in his hand clatters to the ground. Varg staggers back to his feet. The mask covering his eyes falls from his face and he stands. When he looks up, I feel my blood turn cold. Fritz? Varg wags his finger at me, his smile crooked. Maybe I look like him a little, but you can't seriously think we're the same person, can you? I clutch Waltz's shirt between my fingers as I stare. Everything begins to feel hazy once again. What is going on? Lucette? Lucette! I hear my father before I see him. When I turn, he's limping toward us with a pain expression on his face. I can only assume they somehow made it out of his cell, or that someone helped him out. Waltz's arm is still there to support me as I walk toward my father. Father reaches out to touch both my cheeks. His warmth makes me flinch. You're cold. I will be fine. Father clenches his fist and turns to Mithros. It's over now, Mithros. Not quite. A bright light suddenly surrounds the Tenebrarum, and the whole room is engulfed in white. I should have killed you a long time ago, dear Gennaro. Oh, shoot! Oh, no! I'm unable to see what has happened, but as soon as the light disappears, I see what horror has happened before me. I scream when I spot the large gash in my father's chest. Blood pours from a wound, from a blade of light. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Oh. I catch my father in my arms as he stumbles back. Waltz quickly humps to stand beside me to help support him. Father! Now, this kingdom is mine once again. The voice is familiar, but distantly so. It is a voice from my memories. I look up and suddenly, there she is. My mother stands before me, beautiful and regal. Her eyes are cold. Lacking any kind of love, she looks over at me. Lucette. Welcome back, my queen. Mithros, who has somehow managed to escape from Parfait, has now done a one-me before Mother. Hildur! Hello, dear Faye. It's been a while. Parfait puts his hand to her chest as she begins to cough. She collapses to her knees. You've grown weaker since we last fought. Lady Parfait! Mother's eyes snap to Waltz and narrow. I see that the traitor is here too. I also see that you managed to reunite with my daughter. Mother flicks her wrist as she casts her spell. You will pay for what you did to me. Step back! Parfait quickly steps in front of us, and an invisible barrier appears as his mother conjures a series of sharp ice projectiles. They bounce harmlessly off the shield, but I can feel it rumble in the ground as they tumble down to the floor. Parfait! Parfait is still kneeling on the ground. Now I can see blood on her lips. Lucette! I look down at my father. His shirt is soaked with blood, but his eyes are still barely open. Father! I feel tears brimming in my eyes. The room fills with light, this time emanating from the floor. Slowly, our surroundings begin to blur. Go then. Run away, Parfait. That's all you've ever done. Parfait's voice is pressed in pain as she speaks. We will stop you, Hildur. The last thing I see is Mother's wicked smile. Then the light swallows us whole. When the light fades, we're back in the March Inn. Parfait is still on the ground, though now she seems like she might sink into it.
Lady Parfait! I'll be fine. Just call Rumple, quickly!
Waltz starts in the room immediately.
Father, please hold on.
My father's clothes are now dyed a thick crimson that stains my hands and dress. Moments later, Waltz returns with Rumple. He rushes over to the king the moment he sees them. Rumple tears my father's shirt open, leaving a deep wound on his chest. He quickly looks over his body, then attempts to apply pressure to the wound, but the bleeding does not stop. He's lost too much blood.
Can't you do something?
I will do my best, but there's only so much I can do, Princess. I cannot perform miracles. There's a faraway look in his eyes as he says this, and an almost pained expression on his face. His helpless expression makes the panic surge in me again.
You call yourself a doctor?
Lucette, calm down.
I cannot lose him, Waltz.
I don't have much time left, Lucette. I turn to look down at my father, my eyes filling with tears.
No, don't say that, Father.
I wanted to see you become queen, but it seems this is the end for me. I clasp beside father and he reaches up a shaking hand to touch my wet cheek. Protect our kingdom. I can only nod at him. I will always be with you. I love you, Lucette, and I'm proud that you are my daughter. Father smiles at me, and it is so genuine and warm that it brings fresh tears to my eyes. His eyes slowly close, but the smile never leaves his lips. Father, I shake him, but he does not react.
No!
I lean over my father, willing him to come back to open his eyes, but he's no longer breathing. The king is dead. Long live the queen. For the first time in my life, I cry for my father. Ever since my father's death, I've locked myself in my room. I'm filled with constant grief and pain, but I've become numb on the inside. Even when I want to cry, the tears won't come. Lucette, I brought you something to eat. I'm in no mood to eat. Waltz sets the tray down and walks toward me. The blankets crumple as he sits down beside me. Slowly, he wraps his arms around me and strokes my hair.
You know, I think this is also the other reason why
people are not a fan of monarchies, because it puts so much importance on one person, and it's by birth, and some people are just not meant for that. And then on top of that, the only way you can get a position is either by abdication or by death. Neither of which is pleasant. So, with the exception of Frozen 2, of course. It's the first and to date the only Disney movie that ends with an abdication. So, there's that. But yeah, I think that's why I like monarchies. Like, I mean, we like the glamour of the monarchy, but we just don't like the requirements behind it. And I think even like the more traditional societies kind of knew that, and that's why a lot of their royalty is elected rather than, I mean, it's kind of hereditary too, but it's more so elected than it is trait-based. Anyway, slowly he wraps his arms around me and strokes my hair. What happened wasn't your fault, Lucette. He did what any father would do for his daughter. He didn't deserve to die the way he did. My mother's hand. I know. I curl my fingers into Waltz's shirt. I don't want to lose anyone anymore, Waltz. Me either, Lucette. So far I've seen so many people go in this game. I've even seen, like, almost everybody go in this game. In this game. I'm tired of it. I need to get more optimistic games. Seriously. I'm getting so many depressing games. I need to change it up. So if you have any more optimistic games you can recommend me, put them down in the comments below. Anyway. Waltz continued stroking my hair. It'll be fine, I promise. For now, you need to rest, Lucette. I'll be here by your side until you fall asleep. He plants a kiss on my forehead, and I close my eyes, relishing his warmth. Waltz's hold is firm but comfortable, and I sink into his arms as I fall into a dreamless sleep. Days later, the palace announces father's death. It isn't long before Alcastor is given his crown. The announcement of his ascension comes with an explanation of the king's death. The palace paints me as a criminal, telling the townsfolk that I was the one who killed the king. I'm labeled a fugitive, and the royal family is officially declared missing. We've all been hiding together since then, the royal family included. Now it's been 2 weeks since father died. The longer time moves on, the more aware I become of one gaping realization. Mother has not yet shown herself to the public. What could she be plotting? I place my hand over my heart, willing the pain away. Every time I think of Mother, I remember the sword of light that went through my father's body. Enough time has passed. Even though I am suffering losses, I cannot stand idle. I have a promise to fulfill. I will protect our kingdom. I'm about to go back to my room when Parfait calls me. Dolores stands beside her. Lucette, can we talk to you? I look away, avoiding their eyes. What is it that you want to discuss with me? It's about the Tenebrarum. Despite Hilda's revival, it appears that the crystal's light is still dim. That can only mean one thing. Hilda is still weak. Still weak? Hilda was storing all your powers when we found you. We interrupted the process. The crystal is not able to absorb all the magic you now possess. That is why she's still weak. Also, there was something else that bothered me about the crystal. Something odd. Odd? A bearer has a very strong bond with their crystal. A mutual relationship of sorts, but that bond was absent when she returned. What are you saying? It seems that the crystal is forsaking their bond. What? It seems even the crystal knows that Hilda's time has come and gone, Princess. The crystal has already chosen you as its next bearer. It's a small blessing, but doesn't change the fact that Hilda is still the strongest witch. At least, that is what she wants us to think. Parfait and Delora exchange a glance. The crystal has chosen its next bearer. It has just as much potential, if not even more. Delora turns to me. Her usually lax expression is more solemn. Are you ready to learn magic, Lucette? Magic that you'll potentially use to defeat your mother? I have never used magic before in my life. I've never been raised as a witch. And using magic to defeat Mother? I do not know. Well, regardless of what decision you will make, we'll all be here to support you. Delora and I want you to know that. How is it they're still willing to help me when I was the one that caused this whole mess? I need some fresh air. I begin to walk toward the door when I see Ophelia walk in from the tavern. Our eyes briefly meet, and she opens her mouth to say something, and stops when I shake my head. I do not want her to hear her blame me for my father's death, so that must be what she's thinking. Ophelia frowns but does not speak. I quicken my pace, almost running as I head into the forest. The night is silent and calm, and the only sound I can hear is the gentle sway of the grass as I step through it. Mother is back because of me. If I hadn't revived her, Father would still be alive. How am I supposed to face everyone knowing that? Waltz has been trying to cheer me up. While I appreciate his company and concern, even he cannot help me come to terms with my mistakes. I hear footsteps behind me. I turn to see Waltz approaching with a frown on his face. Lucette, please, I'm not in the mood to listen to your reassurances again. I don't need to tell you to tell me again this is not my fault. Lucette, your father wouldn't want to see you like this. How would you know what my father wanted? I snap at him without meaning to, not bothering to hide the irritation in my voice. He'd want you to walk forward, Not linger on a past that cannot be changed. You've been distancing yourself from us since the king passed. Don't think I haven't noticed. Why is that? Because this is the only way I can keep them safe. I think silence is the only response here. I can't really rebut that. You know that I'll always be by your side, Lucette. Shouldering the burden will only worsen your pain. Worsen? I already know the pain of losing someone that I love. I've brought nothing but suffering to those around me. I cannot get close to anyone again, unless I put them in danger. I've already lost my father, and I do not want to lose anyone else. Especially not you, Waltz. Waltz's eyes widen as he stares at me. I want to show you something. Keep your eyes open, Lucette. You can't miss it. Waltz snaps his fingers and golden orbs of light suddenly spring to life around us. Whoo! I love that shot. I can only marvel at the orbs of light floating around us. They look like stars dancing through the night. Or fireflies. It's beautiful. You cannot truly appreciate how bright a star is without darkness. Waltz snaps his fingers again, and most of the lights go out. During difficult times, the light grows dimmer. He snaps again until only one light remains. When you're all alone, it grows even dimmer still. There are things that you cannot do on your own. Otherwise, you risk snuffing your own light out. Another snap and the golden orbs return, this time in great numbers. Lights are brighter than they were before. You're not alone, Lucette. I love you, and it hurts to see you suffer alone like this. My heart is pounding so hard I fear it might escape my chest. By Jove! In this moment, it feels as if time has stopped. It's just the two of us. All I can see is Waltz. As I stand here staring at him, I come to a realization. I love him. When did this happen? After a few moments, I realize that it does not matter. I stand up on the tips of my toes so I could cup Waltz's face in my hands. I move before I could think, leaning over to place a light kiss on his lips. I feel an arm around me as Waltz pulls me closer. The kiss becomes more heated and I feel a gentle flame stirring in my stomach even as my mind becomes foggy. Oh boy. I feel his tongue on my lips, but when I part them, he is suddenly drawn away, his face deep red. Sorry, I needed to catch my breath. I feel the heat in my cheeks and I have to fight back my embarrassment. I just kissed Waltz. I look up at Waltz, suddenly realizing how close he is to me. I quickly burn my face into his chest to hide my embarrassment. Waltz's chest rises and falls with this gentle laughter. You're so cute. I close my eyes, allowing his warmth to envelop me like a blanket. I love you, my little star. This is not just your battle anymore, Lucette. You don't have to carry this burden alone. So please, trust in me. Trust in us. I'm overwhelmed, but Waltz's words make me feel strangely light, as if a weight has truly been lifted from my shoulders. I will. Thank you. We should go back now, or else everyone might get worried. Waltz places a small soft kiss on my forehead and smiles at me as he pulls away. He extends a hand toward me. Let's go, a little star. Oh my god, it's so adorable. I smile as I slowly take his hand. We walk back to the march in hand, momentarily forgetting all the bad things that have transpired. Chapter 8. Hope. It has been almost 3 weeks since Mother's revival, and yet I have not heard or seen anything of her. What are you planning to do, Mother? Parfait told me before that the tenant ballroom had already chosen me as its next bearer. Does that have anything to do with why Mother is still in hiding? It is impossible not to feel the weight of my new responsibility. I've not yet fully accepted that I am now the bearer, but I cannot run from this responsibility for long. The tenant ballroom bearer's duty is to work alongside Parfait to balance the light and darkness of the kingdom. That balance had only just begun mending before Mother's sudden revival. For nights I've been wondering if there's some other way to stop Mother without fighting her. A small part of me hopes that perhaps Mother can still change. I think about that, and then I remember how Mother so heartlessly killed Father as soon as she had been revived. She was sleeping for 4 years, but that did not change her mind. Even now, I can only assume that she still means to make this kingdom suffer. It feels as if my heart is twisting itself into a knot. I gasp when the bright spark fizzles to life in my hands. I clench and unclench my hands, taking deep breaths to calm myself. Ever since I started trying to work with magic, it's been activating on its own. Whenever I feel any sort of deep emotion, some type of electricity sparks in my hands. It is all I can do to try and keep my emotions in check. The last thing I wanted to do was accidentally burn down the March-In, or hurt anyone else inside it. Delora and Waltz have both agreed to start teaching me how to use my magic. For the last few days, the forest near the March-In has served as the training grounds. Parfait constantly cloaks the March-In in powerful magic to keep our presence hidden from Mother and the other witches. It allows us to use our magic without worrying about being tracked. Still, Parfait's constant spells considerably weakened her. Delora and Waltz tried to convince her not to cast it in the first place, but Parfait insisted that we remain as close to the tenant ballroom as possible, rather than move somewhere safer. She told us all that I need to be close to the tenant ballroom as its bearer. As far as we all know, the crystal is still unmoved in the palace. I know that the chance I will face Mother in a battle of magic is extremely high. Although I fear the outcome, I have no choice but to consider the possibility. Time is running out, and I do not have the luxury of waiting much longer. I must decide what I must do. They all believe I am the only one who could stand up to Mother, even with so little practice. Last night I told Parfait that I would make my decision the next day, and I would tell everyone what I decided. Now is the time for that decision. When I step into the reception room, everyone is already there waiting for me. I catch Waltz's eyes first. He cocks his head ever so slightly, his lips stretching into a warm smile. I nod at him and smile back. I take a deep breath before facing everyone. This is the first time I've spoken properly with everyone since my father's death. Before I tell you of my decision, I want to apologize for everything that I've done and for everything that has happened. Mother was back because I was a coward, and Father died because I was weak. They're set. Ophelia is the first to respond. It wasn't your fault, dear. I stare down at the ground with my hands clenched. I try to will my anger away, but only manage a few stifling breaths before I look up again. I brought Mother back because I feared that disobedience would have then killed my father. Yet in the end, he was still... The image of Father's smiling face flashes through my mind. I clear my throat. I promised him that I would protect Angiel, and that is what I intend to do. I will do everything I can to protect our kingdom. Spoken like a true queen. The words are shocking, even more so when they come out of Delora's mouth. Queen? Why do you seem surprised, Princess? You know you're next in line for the throne. I haven't even thought about being the next ruler. I'm not even sure I have the right qualities. Can I really do this? I have wanted to see you become queen, protect our kingdom. I cannot let my father down. I have to do this for his sake, but the kingdom comes before the crown. I will only take the crown if I can win it back. Oh, okay, this is gonna be tricky. Okay, so I gotta phrase this carefully. That's where my English major will come in. So we got two sentences that mean very similar things, but they have different connotations. So remember, the key thing is to be trusting. That is the key thing here. Be confident, be trusting, and be the most selfless person you can be in this route. So, the reason why I say there's similar sentences, but they mean different things, is I will have to rely on you, all of you, means that Lucette is literally putting trust in her friends' hands. And trusting they will put the effort that she needs to get through the palace. So it's kind of like saying that, like, you have power too. I have you all in my hands. I will need your help. Yes, it means that, yes, she is trusting her friends, but ultimately, it's putting the entire burden on herself. And which is how I see it. Any fellow English majors, feel free to comment down below. Like, what do you think would be the better one if you wanted to like establish these rules that we already have? Honestly, I am leaning towards I will have to rely on all of you, because then that shows to her team that she trusts them as much as she trusts herself. And so it would follow through on Waltz's word to say, yeah, you can't do it alone, because your light's going to be very dim. So I'm leaning towards the first sentence. Because it's not like me to admit to weakness, but I cannot keep pretending that I could do this all of this on my own. And that's the key point. She can't do this all on her own. This is a time where she has to rely on as many people as possible. Especially now, with the most powerful witch in existence. I'm not certain how much I'll be able to do on my own. You underestimate yourself too much, Lucette. Have some confidence. It will be hard, but we will stop Mother. Together, we might stand a chance against her. Hilda is strong, but not invulnerable. Parfait looks at me, eyebrows furrowed. You know what we must do to stop Hilda, Princess? I feel a tinge of pain in my chest, but force my eyes to hold Parfait's gaze. I look into Parfait's eyes with determination. I do. Later that same day, I resumed my training with Waltz while Parfait and Delora tried to come up with a plan. Jurian and Garland returned to the town to listen for any information regarding Mother and Alcaster, or any happenings in the palace. I forced myself to focus only on learning how to use my magic as fast as I can. Today, Waltz is continuing his lessons on barriers. He has been teaching me the same spells for the past week, emphasizing my protection. Let's introduce the types of barriers I've been trying to teach you. Do you remember them? One shields you from harm, while the other deflects the spell back at the caster. Powerful spells cannot be deflected. That's why you need to tell which spells can be deflected and which cannot, otherwise you'll end up using the wrong barrier. A single mistake can cost you your life. So, how do I know what barrier I must use? Allow me to demonstrate. You see me cast my spells many times, so you should be able to tell the difference between them. But, for now, let's think of it as another game. Just take a guess. Who knows? You might actually give me the right answer. I'll give you a nice little treat if you do. A treat? You always did like treating me in town. It's special this time. I wonder if it's just like those other sweets he treated me to be before. Waltz snaps his fingers, a glimmering but faint purple light appears around him. It is faded at first, but slowly becomes brighter as he moves his hands. Usually the effects of Waltz's magic are immediate, but this spell was taking longer to cast. Is it stronger magic? I remember Waltz telling me before that it takes a lot of energy to cast a strong barrier. Does that apply to offensive spells as well? Question time. What kind of barrier should you use? Wait. Okay, it says... Powerful spells cannot be deflected. So, considering how much he's been charging, I hope it's not one of those that relies on me getting it right the first time. Fingers crossed. But I am leaning towards shield, considering how much he's been charging it. I'm thinking shield. This whole casting makes it seem like a powerful spell. And powerful spells cannot be deflected, so surely this is the right answer. Is that your final answer? My confidence is sworn by indecision. Lucette, in the midst of the battle, you won't have the luxury of time to think about your decision. Look at him and nod. It should be the right answer. That is correct. Now prepare your shield. I've never shielded myself from a powerful spell. What if my barrier breaks? Trust in yourself, Lucette. I do as instructed and stretch out my hands to cast a barrier to shield myself. Here I go. My hands shake as Waltz's spell collides with my barrier. I put my feet to hold myself upright. Such a strong spell. When the light dissipates, I look up hesitantly before smiling triumphantly when I see my barrier is still in one piece. I did it! Well done, little star. I eye the barrier again. My heart sinks when I notice new cracks in its surface. My barrier! Don't fret, Lucette. Even the strongest barrier will obtain cracks after being hit by a powerful spell. That's when you set up your next barrier. Your opponent will usually make the mistake of assuming you have the same shield up and attack you with a weaker spell to try to break it. You ready for them? The new barrier. That's why I said in the previous one, which unfortunately Delora died doing so, is haven't I taught you that you gotta recast a barrier after the first one? I know. Well, in her defense though, she was distracted, so. I'm impressed at how fast a learner you are. I have a good teacher. I think you're just a good student. So, let me teach me offensive spells. I don't think you need to learn those quite yet. The witches we're up against will probably stick to our offense, which means protecting yourself will be even more vital than trying to attack them. I told everyone that I would fight, and I meant it. If I need to hurt someone to save someone, I will do it. I look in the eyes, my gaze unwavering. I still need to learn. Even if it is just one offensive spell, Waltz. What if I need to help you? I cannot do that just by conjuring barriers. I will not lose anyone else this time, Waltz. I look at Waltz, and my heart aches at the sight of his frown. I do not want to lose you either. That's why I need to be as strong as possible. I want to be able to protect you. Waltz makes his way over to me in just a few strides and pulls me into his arms. I will do what I can to save you from a repeat of what happened last time, Lucette. But you won't lose me. Waltz pulls back and looks at me, his expression warm and gentle. Here is your treat, as promised. Huh? Waltz now pets that away, slips my mind a soft kiss. Why did I not see that coming? It is a short-lived kiss, but it's still enough to make me breathless. You're all red, Lucette. That was your special treat? Disappointed? I can press my cheek to his chest to keep him from seeing my tinted cheeks. No. Let's call it a day. You need to rest. Teach me an offensive spell first. Lucette, we've been practicing since morning and it will be dark soon. You already know that overusing your magic will take a toll on your body, especially when you're still getting accustomed to it. I shake my head at Waltz, determined. Using my magic before did wear me out, but now I can handle more. What kind of barrier would I be if I couldn't handle this much? Please, I'm begging you, Waltz. He eventually sighs and rubs the back of his neck. Okay. But just one spell. Thank you. He steps away from me. What I will teach you is a lightning spell. It's not for the faint-hearted. It will inflict excruciating pain on your enemies and also potentially paralyze them. I'm not as well confused as explanation. Though I try my best to conjure the electricity, I've only managed sparks at the end of the day. I collapsed into my bed. I could feel the exhaustion lying over me like a blanket. I could barely move my arms to trying the lightning spell over and over again. I need to learn that spell as soon as possible. I yawned and then closed my eyes. Sleep comes easy that night. Lucette. That voice. Come back to me, my sweet princess. No. You have no choice in this, little one. You will come back to me, whether you like it or not. I will be waiting for you. I sit by my bed, my heart pounding loudly in my chest and my ears. A dream? I wipe unexpected beads of sweat from my forehead as I calm myself with steady breaths. No. I'll never go back to you, Mother. I end up waking later than usual, a result of my practice from yesterday. When I step inside the reception room, I see Jurian and Garland speaking with Parfait, Delora, and Waltz. There's a definite solemnity to the air. They all turn to look at me as I approach. Did something happen? Princess, the palace made an announcement today. They're issuing a higher bounty on your head for murder and treason. What? It's very strange, the fact that they haven't even bothered to look for you since that day. Something must have happened that forced them to suddenly act. Delora soon gathers everyone in the room to discuss Jurian and Garland's discovery. The only one who was not here is Anise, who's in town buying ingredients in the merchants' meals. But Lucette didn't kill anyone. Isn't there some way to convince them? Alcastor has some power now and the people favor him. Now that everyone remembers who I am, they're once again frightened of me. No one would listen to you. They haven't seen how much you've changed. If only they could understand your circumstances, they might be more sympathetic. I look at Emily in surprise and find myself smiling at her. Thank you for your kind words. I turn to everyone once again and frown. Once again, I'm the one putting everyone in danger. I'm so sorry. If any one of them gets hurt, I'll never forgive myself. Waltz takes my hand and squeezes it. The simple gesture does wonders to calm my nerves. Don't be too hard on yourself, Lucette. We've told you already. We want to help you. We're in this together. He's right. I'm not sure if there's much Rod, Emily, and I could do, but we will definitely support you until the end. Before, I might have cringed at her words, but now, Ophelia has nothing to gain from pretending. Mother is right. We're a family, and we're not abandoning you. Ophelia and Emily are both smiling at me warmly. Even Rod seems to have a ghostly smile on his face. Thank you. I apologize for bringing this up, Karma, but is it possible to ask for reinforcements from Brigantia? Brigantia? Brigantia is one of our neighboring kingdoms. We never had close ties, mostly because Brigantia's king tends to stay away from our personal and political affairs. They've always refused to engage in any sort of violent affairs. Well, I'll look up at Karma, who stands there looking sullen. After a few moments, he lets out an exasperated sigh. You want me to ask the kingdom of Brigantia for help? I remember Karma mentioning before that he was part of a noble family, but I didn't expect him to be from Brigantia. What's he doing here? And how could he possibly ask for help from a king? The king does not participate in battles or skirmishes. It seems unlikely that he would provide support. He wouldn't provide assistance? Not even his own son asked him? Son? You mean... Karma crosses his arms and sighs. Well, I suppose there's no use hiding it anymore. Yes, I'm the son of King Clemente of Brigantia. Judging from the sound quiet in the room, it seems that Parfait, Delora, Waltz, and the Knights were the only ones who knew. You're the Lost Prince? The Lost Prince? Gennaro told me that King Clemente's oldest son had disappeared just a year ago. There were... circumstances. My family never knew that I had the fairy tale curse. I was forced to leave my kingdom so I could come here to break my curse. He came to Angiel to break his curse? His eyes wander slowly to me, but then he focuses once more on the conversation. To answer your question, though, no. I do not believe my father would send help. He hasn't heard from me since I left a year ago, and will most likely think me some kind of imposter once I showed up at the kingdom's doorstep. Even then, he would have too many questions and he would never get the help we were seeking in time. It seems we can't rely on them for help, then. We all turned to stare at Anise. The fine lady Anise suddenly appeared in the margin. What magic is this? I actually just came back. I'm sorry for starting you all, but I found this and I had to bring it back. Her smile fades as she pulls out a flyer for us to see. An announcement? From the look of it, 4 days from now, Castor will make a speech about the changes that are about to happen in Angiel. Changes? That doesn't sound very promising. It means bad news, but it may be worthwhile to take a look. This might give us some insight as to into what's happening at the palace. Hilda is still in hiding, but it seems very likely she could be involved in all of this somehow. They could be plotting something special for that day. Garland and I can go to the event then. We'll make sure not to stand out. I'm coming too. Lucette, I need to know what's happening. I cannot hide forever, Waltz. I will go, and I do not need anyone's permission to do so. Well, I guess you're technically the next queen after all. Laura, don't encourage her. We both know how stubborn she is. She won't stay put even if we command her to. Dora looks at me and winks. Parfa lets out a heavy sigh. Waltz and Karma will accompany her then. Waltz nods. Karma looks somewhat startled, but eventually nods as well. So until that day comes, we all need to prepare for the worst case scenario. Break! I should have gotten water. Oh well. I've been practicing my magic non-stop since the day we heard of Alcaster's speech. I continue to work on my barriers while also continuously attempting that one offensive spell Walt's trying to teach me. Okay, remember what I told you. Focus your energy on the tips of your fingers until you feel the current flow through your veins. Okay, good. Now try to cast that spell at me again. I stretch out my hand and imagine the energy gathering at my fingertips. I see sparks as I begin to cast the spell. Good. Keep going. At the end of my casting time, I can feel the lightning snaking up and down my arms. Now, release it. I direct the spell at Waltz with as much strength as I can muster, but it barely touches this barrier before it fades away. I groan. You're getting there, Lucette. The magic is weak, but it might still be able to paralyze someone for a time so long as you hit them where they don't have a barrier up. But the speech is tomorrow. I will not be able to master it by then. You don't need to. Let's not assume things will be so bad. You're only getting there to watch speech. If that's all that it is, you won't need your magic. The two of us will continue to diligently work, but after a few more rounds, my arms are sore and my mind is foggy. Waltz calls it a day and the two of us retire to our rooms for the night. I have tossed and turned in my bed for what feels like an hour, but sleep will still not come. It's been almost a month since I last went to town, and it's impossible to not imagine the worst possible scenario for tomorrow. I'll probably be awake until the sun rises. I turn to glance at the doll that Waltz gave me so long ago. She sits on my table, her glassy eyes staring back at me. I wonder if he's already asleep. Maybe he can help me calm my nerves. Waltz? There's only silence. Maybe he's already asleep. I'm about to leave when the door suddenly opens. Lucette? Hello, Waltz? Let me guess. Couldn't sleep? I nod. Come in then. I stand in his bed and look around. My eyes shift to his table where I notice a pile of sewing materials and an assortment of puppets. You've been working on your puppets? Yeah, I couldn't sleep either. been a while since I last did a show, but I wanted to make sure my puppets and materials are ready to go once it's all over. I'm sure the children are looking forward to seeing your shows again. Yeah. Silence ensues as Waltz sits down beside me with one of his puppets. He begins to slowly sew at one of the seams. The silence is deafening. He looks busy, but maybe I should say something. Does it matter here? I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. Say something. I am worried about what may happen tomorrow. You think too much, Lucette. I do. I stare at the puppets on his table. When this is over, will you finally let me be your assistant? Waltz smiles and pats my head. Yes. When this is all over, I will give you the spotlight. I'm sure the children will love your puppet shows. Talking about what happens afterwards makes me feel normal. It gives me some hope. Like me, and after this is all over, I'm hoping that I'll be able to do more performances, more streams, and just live a happier life in general. Because it's only when I was forced to do this that I just realized like how much I've been living in the dark for so long. I know, getting a little bit aside now, I'm gonna stream back here. I just realized like for the past couple years I've been living in the dark for so long. And I tried to show it online, but in this case it's kinda hard not to say that I feel vulnerable. That I feel scared every day. So, but thinking about the things that I'm going to do as soon as all this is over gives me a little bit of hope that I actually will have the ability to do something after all of this. Gives me the strength and reassurance that I can do it, you know? It's scary, but we're all in this together, right? Okay, let's go back to the game. Sorry. I just had to do a little bit of a side because this got pretty real for me. Also, it seems like story time streams are a thing. You want me to read something to you? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway. I hope that eventually everything will go back to normal. I feel better now. Thank you, Waltz. Oh? I'm not sure I even did anything. You have just by being here with me. You know, I'd do anything for you, little star. Little star. There's the nickname again. Does it bother you? Well, Lucette does mean like little light or little star. No, I was just wondering where it came from. Oh, right. I never told you the story, did I? Back when I was still your mother's apprentice, my life was dull and empty. Then you showed up. Your circumstances were the same as mine, but your light never faded. You became my hope in that dark place. My light. That's why I consider you to be my little star. I can only stare as Walt smiles at me. Right now, all I want to stay is stay by his side. To stay within the comforts of his warmth. I look at him and a thought shifts into my head, tinting my cheeks pink. What is it? Can I stay with you tonight? What? Wow. What's his face is tomato red? He looks shocked. I can't? It's not that I don't want you to, but I might. I mean, you might turn this into Mass Effect? I'm sorry. He glances away and begins mumbling to himself. I suddenly feel dejected. Don't make that face, little star. Walt sighs. Okay, you can stay. Really? Yeah. Dang, her hair is long. We both lay side by side in the bed, shifting only slightly. Waltz is especially stiff. I wonder why. I looped my arms around his waist and stuck them into the crook of his neck. Waltz tenses beneath me. I feel like I'm being punished. What? Nothing. Thank you for letting me stay. My room felt colder than normal tonight. I couldn't help thinking about tomorrow and then about father and... My words trail off as I try to focus on Waltz's warmth. Please do not leave me as well, Waltz. Lucette, look at me. I move back to look up at him. Waltz stares at me with an intensity that makes it difficult to look away. His features are illuminated by the soft moonlight, making them stand out all the more. My heart skips a beat. I'm not going anywhere, Lucette. I'll always be wherever you are. I promise to always protect you. I reach out to touch his cheek. Thank you. He smiles at me before putting his arm around my waist and pulling me closer. I snuggle against his chest, taking in his warmth. I eventually fall asleep in his arms. Today is the day. Everyone has been busy preparing for the speech. I was told to relax, and I've used the opportunity to move into the forest to get some fresh air. If only everywhere was as peaceful as this. Lucette? I turn around to see Ophelia slowly walking toward me, a hesitant smile on her face. Ophelia, I'm sorry that I cannot be much help during these distressing times. You've already helped me enough, Ophelia. You supported Father when I did not. You have to stay safe. You and the others. You've truly changed. Ophelia takes my hands in hers and looks at me solemnly. Promise me you'll come back to us. I'll be praying that nothing happens today, but if it does, I beseech you to put your safety first. Ophelia, I may not be your real mother, but you've always been my daughter. Guilt floods through me. I've been cruel to her since she first came into our lives, and yet she still treats me so warmly. I do not deserve your kindness after all I have done to you, Emmeline and Rod. I'm so sorry. Ophelia puts me into a hug and smooths down my hair. That's all in the past, dear. What matters now is the present. I nod and close my eyes. I missed out on so many things that I closed my heart up to everyone. I'd always thought I was alone, but I was wrong. Thank you, Ophelia. Cyril Castor's speech starts in an hour, and everyone is making last-minute preparations before we go into town. Ophelia, Emmeline, and Anise will stay behind as Rod and Rumple volunteer to watch over them. Delora and Parfait left yesterday to attend a meeting with the fairies. Apparently they found someone who holds important information about Mother and her plans. Emmeline approaches me, her eyebrows creased. Lucette, should you see your mother there, what will you do? I haven't really thought about it yet. We're bound to face her sometime soon. I know she is your mother, Princess, but are you emotionally ready to face her? I'm taken aback by her question. Jurian, I apologize for being blunt, but we all have to consider the worst possible scenario, don't we? I need to know that the princess is ready to face her. In a battlefield, one must not hesitate. Jurian continues to look at me, waiting for my answer. I finally face her with determination. I will face her, and I will stop her. Chapter 9. The Queen. I stand in an alleyway with Waltz, Jurian, and Karma, making sure to stay hidden in shadow as we watch the sea of people moving toward the plaza. Garland is scouting around the plaza for night's positions, and we have been waiting here for him. There are so many people. Okay, this is where we split up. Remember that we're trying to avoid needless battle. If anything should happen, fleeing is the better option. I am not a fool. I wouldn't pick a fight that would put anyone in needless danger. I'm glad you understand. Remember, We're only here to watch and listen. I don't want... Oops. I don't want us to get into a skirmish if we can avoid it. So should anything go wrong, we need you to retreat, Princess. I think it's the area that she's very trusting. I think she's gonna... Oh, wait. I don't know. On the one hand, you gotta be trusting, but on the other hand, you want to be as selfless as possible. So I think it's... But then again, sometimes to be selfless, sometimes you gotta be the more responsible party. But on the other hand, though... You know what? I think I'm gonna say I'm not gonna leave you all behind. Because so much she understands, I think she's gonna leave you all behind. Like I said, this isn't the time to be stubborn. It's not about stubbornness. It's just that all I ever done is run. I refuse to keep fleeing. I have people to protect and I would not let them down. Running away isn't always cowardice. That may be, but sometimes there's tweets you need to face head on. This is one of those situations. Please understand, Waltz. You know what? I'm actually gonna load to see what the other option is. Okay, so it's chapter 9, right? Because you know what? Sometimes trusting means to trust that people have best interests in your heart, at heart. Your safety is your number one priority, after all. He's right. Your life is the most valuable. Remember, Princess, your life doesn't belong to you anymore. This kingdom's future is in your hands. I look away. I know that. Garland suddenly appears with a stiff frown. Look who I found. I turned to Garland and then noticed the man beside him. My eyes widened at the sight of him. Fritz? Garland pushes him and Fritz stumbles forward. He falls to his knees only a few inches away from me. You're okay. Thank goodness you're alright, Princess. I twitched at the side of his face. There's no sign of the wicked smile that was on his face when he was under the guise of Varg. Though he looks confused, the relief in his eyes seems genuine. Are you truly Fritz? Or are you Varg? Or both? I'm the Fritz you've always known, Princess. Your royal knight. I raised an eyebrow. I can still remember what happened weeks ago, when the mask fell from his face in the room of the Tenebrarum. And that moment I saw Fritz's face, no matter what Varg said. Varg was in league with Outcaster and Mithros. The man I saw back there was definitely Fritz, even if he never confirmed it. What are you doing here? Fritz flinches. I've been searching for you. Why? So you take me back to Mithros, or are you here to kill me? Fritz bows low as clenches hands trembling at his sides. I will not surrender you to Sir Mithros. My loyalty has always been to the kingdom and you. I can never hurt you, Princess, but I don't blame you for doubting me. My father? I would have stopped him if I knew. Fritz glanced up at me slowly, his expression resolute. I just escaped from yesterday when I was captured by knights. I managed to escape from them today, but only barely. I was supposed to meet the Lucis Bearer yesterday. Fritz glares not at me, but through me, as if remembering something unpleasant. That was when I was able to take control of my body again just a few days ago. I've been searching for you, but instead I found some witches who seemed to be in league with the Lucis Bearer. I requested an audience with her as soon as possible because I wasn't sure how long I'd keep Varg at bay. At bay? Fritz explain. About Varg? No, about this audience. Princess, this could all be some elaborate ruse of his. I have a responsibility to at least hear him out. What do you want from Parfait? I have important information about Hildur. Mother? Lady Parfait did say that her and Delora were going to meet with someone who had information on Hildur. And you believe that their meeting was with this man? Karma turns to Fritz, clearly skeptical. That seems like it could be a coincidence. How are we to believe you? Fritz is silent for a few moments. After some time, he speaks again, more hesitantly. I know that apologizing won't change the fact that I betrayed the princess and the kingdom. But right now, I'm doing my best to right my wrongs so I still have control over my body. The Knights are still searching for me as we speak, so I'll make this as quick and brief as I can. Hilda is growing weaker. What? I haven't been myself for the past few weeks, but I still have portions of Varg's memories. I remember that she is bedridden, still being treated for wounds that she sustained during the Great War. And she's now sick like Parfait, only Mother seems to have it worse than her. I overheard Mithros says that the crystal no longer recognizes her as its sole bearer. Parfait said something similar, but she said that she could no longer feel Mother's connection with the Tenebrarum. But what Fritz just said... It seems that the crystal is seeing both of you as bearers. It's stretching its energy to both of you. This might be why Hilda hasn't regained her full powers and has remained weak. Waltz stares at Fritz, eyes wide. The crystal having two bearers? I didn't think such a thing was possible. Is that why Hilda still refuses to show herself in public? Yes. The witches that used to be on her side doubt her capability to rule. None of them want to help her when she is still so weak. Mithros figures the only way to get the crystal to fully accept Hilda is to drain the rest of your powers. That's why the palace has issued a higher bounty on your head. But Father's no longer interested in hunting you. There's been a rift between him and Mithros because of this. Waltz crosses his arms, his expression thoughtful. I'm surprised Hilda hasn't disposed of Alcaster yet. If he is still alive, it means he must still play an important role in your plans. Fritz's expression will quickly morph into something grim as he bounds down at the ground. You're right. Waltz and I exchanged a look before we turned back to Fritz. Mithros plans to kill my father today. Fritz's eyes are distant, his mouth pulled in a tight grimace. All I could do was stare at him, uncertain of what he has just told me. Hilda will show herself to the public today. She and Mithros plan to kill my father in front of an audience in hope that their fear and despair will fuel the Tenebrarum. If they fuel the Tenebrarum, make Hilda stronger. They plan to use the fear of the public to achieve their own ends? This is not good. There's many people here, the Tenebrarum might indeed see that surge of power again. Even a weakened Hilda would be difficult to fight, but we stand more of a chance now against her now than we do if she fills the Tenebrarum with negativity. Please save the kingdom, princess. Fritz looks at me, imploring me. I shake my hand slowly. I'm confused. You betrayed us and then you're still helping us as well. Which side are you on? The only reason I'm working for them in the first place is because of my curse. I swear it. Fritz tries to stand up, but his knees wobble and suddenly he's down on the ground again, his hand clutching at his chest. Fritz? No. Not yet. Fritz looks at me, his pale face covered in sweat. I've no idea how long I can suffocate Varg, so please, bind me, freeze me, do whatever you can to keep me from chasing after you. I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. Fritz keels over, his forehead touching the ground. Please. Waltz? I know. Waltz snaps his fingers and a rope of light appears around Fritz's wrists, pulling him down to the ground. I furrow my eyebrows at Fritz even as he cocks his head to look at me. Thank you. You don't have much time left. I plan to deliver a message to the Lucis bearer, but I leave it in your capable hands instead. Fritz, I'm sorry. I will do anything to protect my charge. Now go. Jerry nods at me. Don't worry, Garland and I will keep an eye on him. Garland quickly forms to the Knights' positions around the plaza and gives us clues about where we might hide to avoid their prying eyes. After he's finished his briefing, Waltz, Karma, and I hurry off. Father, please watch over all of us today. There are so many people here. They have no idea that this seemingly harmless speech will be the start of their nightmares. I've been feeling with my fingers since we got here, my nerves slowly taking over me. There are so many knights. I pulled down the hood of my cloak to make sure that my face is concealed from them. Waltz suddenly reaches out to take my hand. He raises it to his lips. Waltz looks at me with a gentle smile. Don't worry. I won't let anything happen to you. I'm not worried about myself. I'm more worried about the people's safety, as well as our friends. I'll never forgive myself if something bad happens to them. You're not the only one responsible for protecting everyone here. Remember, I'll always share your burden, Lucette. I know. I look up at him and smile. Thank you. I've told you so many times I'll do anything for you, Lucette. I feel the same way. Waltz wraps his arms around my waist and draws me closer to him. Waltz? Waltz takes my hand and plants a kiss on my fingers. You worry too much, Princess. How I wish I could share your optimism. And his casualness. How does he manage to act like this in front of so many people? And so tired of the time. The king is here! A woman announces the king's presence and Waltz and I immediately turn our attention to the stage. He takes a step away from me, arms at his side, expression suddenly stoic. Alcaster walks to the center of the platform with a triumphant smile. Good day, my loyal subjects. Everyone goes silent at the sound of his voice. I know that much has happened in our kingdom since the late King Gennaro passed away. We're still exerting our efforts to find the king's murderer, his very own daughter. Rest assured that justice shall find this criminal, even if she is our own princess. Anyone who is able to surrender her to the palace will be rewarded handsomely. Members of the crowd begin to chatter amongst each other. It hurts that people believe him, but I cannot say I blame them. As your king, I will do everything in my power to make sure that the kingdom flourishes under my rule. My, what a sight. Even after all these years, you humans never change. That voice. I frantically look around for her, but though her voice echoes around us, she is nowhere to be seen. Where was she hiding? The crowd grows restless at the sound of her voice. Many try to search for her with their eyes. You lots are nothing but manipulative, lying rodents. Yet you call us witches the wicked ones. A bright light fades to existence right beside Alcaster. A silhouette emerges from the light, and suddenly, I could see her in all her wicked glory. My mother. The witch who killed my father. Mithros stands beside her. She's here. Her sudden appearance causes the already restless crowd to break into a panic. Silence! One word from her and the crowd falls into silence. Not a single person dares to move, their eyes now glued to the witch in front of them. Alcaster acts more quickly than I expected, drawing his sword from its sheath and pointing it at her neck. You! What are you doing here? You should be thankful I let you play king for so long. I'm afraid playtime is over. That crown belongs to me. Mother faces the crowd with a smile and spreads her arms in a gesture of grandness. Angel! Your queen is back. Mother was even paler than I last saw her, making the dark circle stand out even more beneath her eyes. She looks worse than Parfait. I won't let you steal my crown, witch. Oh? But I was not the one who stole it in the first place. Alcaster grits his teeth and charges toward Mother. Mithros deftly steps in front of her and casts a shield. Alcaster slams his sword into an invisible wall. Then with a wave from Mithros' hand, Alcaster suddenly thrown back. Once again, the crowd becomes restless. I've tolerated you for far too long, human. But right now, you're inconsequential. Sparkling icicle darts appear in midair as Mother raises her hand. They point outward, casting themselves in the direction of the townspeople. She used to spell before, but now there are even more of them. She looks weak, and yet she can still manage this much. She could easily destroy part of the town with this spell. I stare at Waltz's eyes wide and lower my voice into a panic whisper. I thought she was planning to kill Alcaster. She's like the plans have changed. Farewell, my disloyal subjects. I cannot let her do this. Lucette! I know I'm Waltz and quickly want to center the crowd, knowing this will be the most effective place to set up a barrier. A strong gust of wind causes my hood to come off. Dang, Lucette! Woo! I stretch out my arms as I concentrate on casting the shield around the entirety of the crowd. Isn't that the princess? Witch! I do my best to shut out everyone's voices as I push my energy towards the palms of my hands, imagining an impenetrable glass arcing in front of us. As soon as I cast the massive shield, the icicles shatter upon impact, falling away. I wince at the impact, but force myself to stand steady even when I am pushed back. I will not let you hurt anyone anymore, Mother. The crowd begins to murmur all around us. Ah, so you finally showed up, little one. It's good to see you again, my dear daughter. I knew I'd seen some sort of reaction if I opened my speech like this. She did this to draw me out? Now be a good girl and hand over what is rightfully mine. You won't get away with this, witch. Alcaster is such a basic bro. Anyway, Alcaster is once again back on his feet, his sword poised and ready to strike. He cannot defeat Mother with a mere sword. Hasn't that learned? Mother looks at Alcaster. A wide grin slowly parts her lips. But I already have. Mother flicks her hand and a silver light begins to gather on her palm. I recognize that spell. As much as I hate Alcaster for what he's done to this kingdom, I can't just stand idly by and send the spell to kill him. I push myself forward, running towards Alcaster. Alcaster, run! But I'm too late. A second later, a sword of light appears and impales Alcaster right through his chest. No! This time, the crowd finally begins to disperse. People begin to push past each other, screaming and crying. Most of them are almost at the edges of the plaza before Mother casts in their spell, creating a barrier to lock everyone inside. A strange wave of energy pulsates through my body, making me stumble. That's right. Feed me your fear! The people's negative energy is fueling the Tenebrarum. My eyes shift toward Mother, whose grin is deranged, inhumanly wide. A shiver runs down my spine. Mother, stop this madness! In a moment of hesitation, Waltz rushes forward to cast a spell. Purple spikes went toward Mother, but she does nothing to stop them. Mithros effortlessly stands in front of her, casting a shield. The force of Waltz's spell sends him stumbling backward. I hear his shield crack. Mithros tries to keep it up, but ends up succumbing to the force of Waltz's spell. Eventually, the glass shatters and the spikes force their way through. One of them impales Mithros to the chest. Dang! Everybody going! Mother glances at Waltz, her lips pull into a pleased smile. Impressive. You can still use your magic even after being separated from it for so long. I expected no less from my superior apprentice. Mother turns to Mithros and raises her eyebrows slowly. You're still a disappointment, Myth. My queen! Those are the last words he can manage before he stops speaking. Father! Fritz's voice echoes from the suddenly silent plaza. He rushes toward Alcaster, who managed to walk a good distance away from Mother before he collapses to the ground. Soon, Fritz is kneeling right beside Alcaster's bloody body. Jurian and Gerwin are right beside him. I'm about to walk over to them, but Karma holds my arm and pulls me back. Don't. But you do not want to set your eyes on such a grisly sight up close, Princess. Mother watches Fritz and the two knights approach with disinterest. His fate was trying to steal what is rightfully mine. Alcaster brings his hand into his mouth and coughs. I can see blood on his hands. Father's last moments flashed through my head, but I willed the memory away as Mother turns her gaze on me. Mother surveys me with a warm smile. She holds her hand and beckons me over. Join me, Lucette. We were meant to rule this kingdom hand in hand from the start. These humans do not deserve your protection. They deserve to suffer after everything they've done to our kind. I shake my head. I'd rather die than join you. What? Ungrateful brat? This is how you repay everything I've done for you? You have done nothing for me. Very well. If you wish for death, I shall give it to you. Once I'm done with you, I will destroy this kingdom and start anew. It will be a kingdom for the witches and I. I will not let you do that. Mother was taken by surprise. Another purple spike suddenly pushes through the ground toward her. She steps back, avoiding the brunt of the attack, but her arm is still grazed. Blood oozes from a newly opened gash. Waltz? You'll have to get through me first. You can't stop me, traitor. Mother extends her hands, and in a moment's lightning has suddenly appears, winding its way up Waltz's body. No! This is a big one. It all comes down to this. Okay. Running might not be enough time, but lightning may not be. Maybe the best situation I could do here. I'm leaning towards attacking because, I mean, granted, Lucett's not up to par yet, but that's literally the only thing she could do at this point, because running over will give her enough time to kill him off. So I'm leaning towards attack. Let's do this. I have to impulse. I know the spell that I've been taught will not even graze her, but I do not consider that consequences to raise my hand to cast a spell. Power slowly begins to trickle through my veins and into my palms as I approach the platform. Let him go! Lucette, don't! Bars in my throat as I draw closer to where they are. Uh-oh. It's gonna be one of those Mass Effect things where, like, Hilda's basically a lightning rod, so whatever attack I do to her, it hits Waltz. Let's see. Let him go. I'll do anything, just let him go. Anything? Mother's voice is terrible and sweet, her tone filled with poison. I cannot bring myself to look at her. Instead, I keep my eyes firmly focused on Waltz. When Waltz speaks my name, it is in the soft voice that I've come to love so dearly. Lucette? If you wish so much to save him, then you must return what you have taken from me. The crystalline tenebrarum. And yet you will become my sweet, obedient daughter once more. Only then will I let Waltz go. Waltz's eyes begin to dim, and I can see the hope draining out of him. I'm sorry, Waltz, but I cannot lose you too. You know where to find me, Lucette. The longer you keep me waiting, the longer he suffers. There's a blinding flash of light, then Mother and Waltz are both gone. No! A dull ache begins to spread through my chest. Again! I wasn't able to do anything again! Why am I so weak? Suddenly I feel Jurian's hand on my shoulder. I turn to look at her. She stares at me solemnly for a few moments before her expression breaks and she shakes her head. Don't blame yourself for this. There's nothing you could have done. I have to save him. Jurian looks through me and I follow her gaze. The people are starting to back away, their expression a mixture of fear and anger. It's exactly like 4 years ago. What should we do now? That witch just killed the new king. Everyone, it's best for all of you to go home and stay there where you'll be safe. And what? Wait until that witch kills us? One woman points an accusing finger at me. Her fear is palpable. That murderer is a witch as well. She's exactly like her mother. A wicked witch. The people begin to curse me. I stand quietly and listen to their insults. I cannot blame them for thinking this way. Karma moves to stand beside Jurian, and the two of them shield me from the angry masses. I doubt any of these people will listen to anything I have to say. Stop! A familiar man walks towards us with a gentle smile. Is that the dad with the teddy bear? You are... Yes, it's the dude with the teddy bear! Yes, you remember me? You helped make my daughter happy on her special day with your gift. I'm surprised when both he and his wife come to stand beside me. What are you doing? I can finally properly repay you for what you've done. The man smiles at me before turning his attention to the crowd. We won't let you hurt the princess. Rumors may have spread about her being a cold, wicked person, but those rumors are false. I know the truth. She's truly a kind person. She's just protected us from the evil queen. Have you no shame? The angry shouting begins to fade into hushed accusations and aggressive whispering.
That's right! We won't let you hurt Big Sister!
It's like Avengers Endgame, like all the people all of a sudden are popping up and coming to her back. These are the children that Waltz and I played with. The ones that watched his shows. The children stand at my other side.
Big Sister is a very good person, and we won't let you hurt her.
I can only stare in shock as everyone around me. My vision blurs as tears come to my eyes. I quickly wipe them away with the back of my hand. Let's wash your hands first before you do that. Everyone. Mina. A simple act of kindness can go a long way, can't it? These people believe in me. That is why I have to live up to their hopes. I take a deep breath and start walking forward. Jurian grabs my hand, her brow creasing with worry, but I shake my head at her and smile. I will be okay. Jurian looks at me for a few moments before she finally releases me. Now that I'm directly in front of everyone, the area is quieted. I close my eyes to take another deep breath. Slowly, I get down on one knee before them. I am sorry. The crowd begins to murmur again. I can hear more than a few stifled gasps. Princess, you shouldn't! I raise my hand to silence Jurian. I once again look to the townspeople. I know my words are meaningless, but I still want to apologize for everything Mother has done, and also the people that I've hurt. I was blind and naive, ignoring the fear and anxiety of so many people. But I've grown since then, and now I see with clear eyes the hatred you have had for my mother and for me. The crowd remains silent, so I continue. King Gennaro was killed by my mother, and I was not strong enough to save him. So yes, you are correct. I am the reason he is dead now. But I made a promise to him, and I intend to keep it. I will protect Angiel in his stead, and I hope that all of you will give me a chance to prove myself worthy as your princess and your future queen. I promise I will make things right again, no matter what it takes. At least, I think I can. I bow my head once again before standing. I then to the Jurian and Karma. I notice that Fritz and Garwin are absent, like Alcaster's nowhere to be seen. Where are Garwin and Fritz? They took Alcaster's body away from all of this. Body? You mean... he's passed. I have this begins to sink into my chest. Bloodshed will only beget more bloodshed. That's why I cannot let anyone die anymore.
Please do your best, Big Sister.
I pull up my reverie from the voice of one of the little boys.
Let's pray together again when you come back.
I stare at their smiling faces with bleary eyes. I do not even know if I'll live through this, but I do not have the heart to ruin their optimism. I like that. I need them to keep hoping for a better tomorrow, so they will be strong enough to stand on their own feet if they must face the whole world. Jurian, tell Laura and Parfait what happened when they come back to the March-In. What are you planning to do? Under no circumstances are you to go to that witch alone, am I clear? Waltz would not want you to sacrifice yourself for him. I step back and smile at her and Karma. I apologize for this. I back away toward the palace, put as much distance as I can between me and the crowd, the platform, and Karma and Jurian. Then as swiftly as I can, I hold my hand to cast a large dome-shaped shield around the palace and I. The energy is falling away from me even as I cast the spell, only to be replaced by new energy. The Tenebrarum is gaining power. No! Jira rushes toward the shield and places her hands on it. She calls my name, but I only shake my head at her. Princess Lucette! Do not be so foolish! No! I refuse to let anyone die. I can only manage the shield for an hour. That should be enough time to save Waltz and end this for good. I offer one last smile before I turn and rush to the palace gates. Durian and Karma continue to call my name, but to no avail. I'm sorry, everyone, but this is something I must do my own. This is the only way I can protect you all. I expected resistance when I entered the palace, but to my surprise, there's no one here. Not a single soul. Everyone must have evacuated when Mother appeared outside. The stagnant air around me is suffocating. The night air is quiet and cold as death. My footsteps are very loud in the emptiness of the palace. If I give my powers to her voluntarily, will I die? This thought has haunted me since I first entered the palace. All too soon, the doors to the throne room are before me. I pause in front of them, suddenly feeling anxious. Father, I'm sorry I cannot be the queen you wanted me to be. Waltz's life hangs in the balance. I must save him. I'm sorry for being selfish. I take a deep breath, and with renewed determination, push open the doors. Chapter 10, Peter Pan the Lost Girl. Could this be the good ending? Let's see. The first thing I see is Mother sitting upon Father's throne. Hello, dearest one. Mother. Somehow she looks even worse than earlier. My gaze is drawn to where Waltz is sitting at Mother's feet. His eyes widen when he notices me. A bright light surrounds his body like a rope, keeping him in place. Waltz! It looks as if he's trying to say something, but his mouth does not budge. It's as if his lips are sewn shut. What have you done to him? Don't worry, Lucette. He is unharmed, but these bindings magic is restricted. I just didn't want him to ruin our mother-daughter bonding time, so I sealed his lips. Mother draws his hand through Waltz's hair, and her manner reminds me of a mother coddling her child. I clench my fists. Let him go. Mother's eyes flash. She could hurt him so easily if I anger her. I'm here now, so let him go. I think I shall keep him where he is till your side of the agreement is completed, dearest one. I can only manage to glare at her. Oh, my darling, don't look at me like that. Don't you want things to be how they were? We were so happy when we were together. I shake my head at her. That wasn't happiness. You kept me from happiness. And when I finally did find happiness, you took it away. Having friends, being loved by Father. I could have had all of those things if it weren't for you. And even now, you would take Waltz from me. Mother rests her chin on the palm of her hand, expression cold as ice. This boy makes you happier than I do? You would choose him over me? I'm not looking at Mother when I answer. Instead, I direct my attention to Waltz, who is shaking his head at me. My only apology to him is a silent frown. Yes. I meet Mother's gaze at last. Tell me what I must do to save him. The silence in the throne room is deafening, but I am resolute. No matter what happens, Waltz must live. Mother raises her hands to her chest, and moments later a silver crystal begins to form, floating above the palms of her hands. The crystal's light is dim, its surface clouded, but I know exactly what it is. The Crystallum Tenebrarum. It looks so much smaller than it was before. Mother walks toward me, a gentle smile on her face. Come, darling. Raise your hands to the Tenebrarum. I falter for an instant. If you take my powers from me, will I die? I will be very careful, Lucette. Since you're offering your powers willingly, no harm shall come to you. Mother's smile is so sweet, her voice so reassuring. I wish I had the Akbar voice. It's a trap! Don't do this, Lucette! Waltz, your voice! If she takes away all your powers, it'll be nothing but an empty shell. Mother slaps Waltz before he can say anything else. He falls to his side, his body still incapable of movement. Waltz! I'm impressed that you managed to break that spell. I'm confident you will not be able to break your bindings. Mother lets out an exasperated sigh. My patience is running out, Lucette. If you don't give me what I want, then I'll have to force it from you. I see Mother flick her hand to cast a spell. I'm about to move, but I'm too late. Her spell collides with my body. I expect to feel pain, but I'm surprised at the sudden lightness that overtakes me. Soon my eyes grow heavy and my knees buckle, causing me to fall to the floor. I feel as light as air. Lucette! I continue to lay there on the floor, unmoving, as Mother strides toward me. Don't worry, little one. Your nightmares will soon be over. Her face is the last thing I see before I'm consumed by an endless darkness. Have we done as I commanded? Yes. Oh! It's the bad ending! Oh, shoot! I can't hear you, Waltz. Yes, my queen. This pain is unlike you, Waltz. I expected more. If you do not like looking for me, you could simply say no. I will not force you to continue to cure against my will. You have served me well these past few months, after all. Oh! It's a lost girl, so of course she wouldn't be. She wouldn't be. If someone more like Little Star, it would work. You know full well I'm still here. You're still so enraptured with my daughter, but I do not blame you. I think she's lovelier now than she has ever been before. She does not talk back. She does not rebel. She does everything I tell her to. AKA, not generous though. She is far more obedient this way. I prefer it. Don't you agree, Lucette? Yes. You made her like this. Of course you would think so. Oh, but she isn't dead. Isn't that why you continue to stay here? Out of some desperate hope you could be able to break her out of her spell, return her to the way she was? How foolish. I must assure you that there is no way to reverse the spell. If Lucette had been a good girl and done as she had told in the first place, she would not have to be like this. Indeed, because you interrupted the initial process, there was no way to be restored to power without taking Lucette's spirit. In a way, you made her into this Waltz. She sacrificed herself for you. You have no one to blame but yourself. Stop it. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to hurt her. Don't you love her? Deeply. As truly as any mother should love her daughter. It is a shame that you cannot recognize that, Waltz. I've only acted for the benefit of all the witches. One day you will accept that. I know Lucette already has. Am I right, Lucette? Yes. Mother. Dang! Oh my god! Oof. Captain Hook. Okay, I got the reference now, but man! That ending was creepy. Achievement unlocked. Never Ever After and Stolen Dawn. So Never Ever After means that I got every single bad ending, and Stolen Dawn means I got Waltz's bad ending. Okay, so this is why I said I was only 60% sure. So that means, in order to be selfless as possible, so I feel like only 2 decisions were the parts where I just wasn't 100% sure. Number 1 was the bedroom, and the other was, whatchamacallit? The other was, the speech, like, whether should have attacked or should have run. But now I think there's a third thing that probably I'm not so sure about, which was whether to say, I understand, or say, I can't leave you behind. So that's 3 things I'm not 100% sure about. So that's why I said I was only 60% sure. So we're gonna try changing those 3 decisions and see what happens. So this first shot was a failure, obviously. but I'm not giving up. I'm gonna try and see if I can get this right. So, the first thing I'm gonna try is I'm gonna go back to, okay, I said I know here. I don't know if the silence is the correct thing, so that's 4 things I'm not sure about. So, I feel like I did the right response here, somewhat. But I think it's this one I'm not sure about. So I'm gonna lean towards, I think with this one, let's try running toward Waltz, see what happens. I rush toward him.
Let him go! Lucette, no! It's not safe! Mother, please don't hurt him!
Mother looks at me, and then to Waltz. Her lips slowly curl into a wicked grin. Is this what your relationship has become? Okay, running towards him was the right one. Okay. My heart is in my throat as I draw closer to where they are. Let him go. I'll do anything, just let him go. Anything? Okay. Let's see. Please tell me this changed something. Okay, let's see. Cried. Okay, so that's still the same. Okay. Let me see. Oh, no, I don't. I was gonna take forever. Okay. Got the kids, got your back, then Karma's got your back, then Jurian's got your back, then who else? Caster's gone. Okay. Space barring, space barring, space barring, space barring. Shield is up.
Shield's up!
Lucette is on her own. Now let's see. No resistance. Okay, go to the throne. And still lost girl. So, still a bad ending. So that means the bad decision was earlier. Load. Okay, so I think the bad decision went from the speech onwards. I feel like I was correct in the bedroom now, but I feel like from the speech, it just went terribly. So let's try that. Let's go back to the speech. Boom. Okay. Let's try this. Let's try from the speech. So I think this time I should say I will not leave you all behind because I think the fact that, like, there's so much tension on herself, it feels weird to her, and she wants to depend on others, but then she doesn't want to let them be a burden. She doesn't want to kill them off. So let's see. So let's try I will not leave you all behind. Lucette, this is the time to be stubborn. It's not about stubbornness. It's just that all I have done is run. I refuse to keep fleeing. I have people to protect and I will not let them down. Running away isn't always cowardice. That may be, but there are situations you need to face head on. It's one of those situations. Please understand, Waltz. I just don't want you to get hurt, Lucette. I know. I look at Waltz, feeling at a loss. No matter what I say, he'll always insist on my safety first. Garwin suddenly pierces to frown. Okay, so let's go forward to the next decision. I always share your burden, Lucette. So I said I know. Maybe it's better to go with the middle option and not say anything. Because both of them are right, but I think the middle option is the safest bet here. You know what might help? Oh no! That's not what I want! Okay, well let's see. Let's see. I've already caused you enough trouble, Waltz. I've never considered you a burden, Lucette. Okay, okay. Okay, let's skip forward to the next choice. I think I'm wrong. I feel like I'm wrong. Ugh. Okay, it's saying selfless and be confident and... Okay, so I'd say attack. Let's try to be confident here. Okay, let's see what difference it makes. Still bad ends, darn it! Okay, so, yeah, definitely we have to start from the very beginning. But, you know what? I know at least the parts that I have the most doubt, which is very much the last 3 decisions with the speech and the bedroom scene. So those are 3 spots that I'm not sure about. And then, the final part is the refusal. So I have a feeling that either way, Gennaro's going to be dead. It's just how he's going to die, I'm not sure. So... Attempt 1, obviously a giant fail. So, I feel like I'm close. I'm just not there. So, we're gonna pick this up again maybe tomorrow. So, we'll see if it'll get something a little bit better. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to end this in a bad way, but in this case, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to. But rest assured, there is gonna be more various visual novels and hopefully more optimistic stories. Maybe I'll put a little bit happier of a theme. Let's put a little bit happier of a theme just to make us feel better a little bit. Because I hate ending on a bad note. I really hate ending on a bad note. So I think it's in our gallery. Yes, it is. Okay. So for the most part, we've gotten almost every single shot. It's just the opening. It's just this one we haven't gotten. I think we've gotten every single dream sequence. Oh no, it's just one we don't have. Just one. And then... Waltz's shots. Obviously, there's a lot we don't have. So it's just this one. So we only have 1 image left. But yeah, so there's only a few images left, which is not much. But yeah, let's get a little bit more relaxing here. So let's see this one. It'd be sentimental, actually. Let's see. Ooh, this one's a good one. I've barely done this one. Okay, there we go. That's a little more comforting. There we go. So yeah, I hate ending on a bad note, but unfortunately, I think you're gonna have to this time. But don't worry, there's gonna be more positive stuff that's coming up. I'm gonna try and get the positive ending. So attempt number 2 of Waltz's Route is coming up. I'm gonna try and go without this guide list. So it's my second shot I'm going to take. And I think I'm really close to getting the good ending. I think it's just 4 decisions I'm just not 100% sure about. But we will get that good ending, I promise. I was thinking of maybe trying a few playthroughs with my DS. I may have to go a little bit jank with my setup until I'll be able to finally get a graphics card on this. So we'll see. And then, I'll think about some other games that I will play with you guys. But until then, I'm going to end it right here. Here's all my social media. Right here in case you want to get in touch with me. I also have a Discord channel. Link is in the description of my YouTube channel in case you want to jump in, because I want to be able to have little conversations with people. Of course, don't be afraid to take the pledge. Gamers versus COVID-19. You can look it up. You can find it on Twitter, or type in Gamers versus COVID-19 versus VS, not spelled out. Gamers versus COVID-19 preowned.com and take the pledge and join their Discord page. Here's all the events on here as well. Pretty much barring the change of the conditions, I am going to go to Odoon Day. Originally I was going to attend Sakura Sunday, but I think they might have canceled it last I checked, but we will see. Also the Renaissance Fair. Originally I think I was going to end it tomorrow, but now I think I'm going to add an additional code. So if you type in the code Freya before tomorrow or by tomorrow, you get a special discount. I'm also going to add a second code, Ostara, if you want, and I will give you like, you are guaranteed both a crystal and a rune, for clarification. It's a little special from me to you. So, actually, no, for Ostara, if you type in Ostara during this period, you will also get an additional free reading, no questions asked. So for Freya, you get half price, and for Ostara, you'll get an additional free reading. You can use it the same time as you get your first one, or you can use it down the line. But it has to, here's the catch. For the second code for yourself, you must do it, let's see. So when does the wheel turn again? I think the next part's Beltane. Yeah, Beltane. So here's the catch for Ostara. So, today is Ostara, aka Vernal Equinox. So use it now, but here's the catch. You've basically got to redeem your, like, if you decide to use the code Ostara, which is like the free reading, I think the max I'll go is 5 cards for your free reading. There you go. So a little gift from me to you. So Ostara. So here's the catch though. You got to use it before Beltane, like basically before May. So you basically got a month to decide. If you don't use the code Ostara, or you don't use it by the May 1st, it's gone. Like, that option is gone until the next offering. Because for Ostara, I'm going to use a totally different offering. Sorry, for Beltane, I use a totally different offering because it's May Day. But yeah. So yeah. And I think, well, you know what? Originally, I was not going to be allowed to combine it, but you know what? Considering what's happening today, I'm going to combine the two. So for Freya, you have until this Friday to redeem it. If you want to use Ostara, you always have a month for that one. So I will lean towards Ostara, really, because you get an additional reading. If you want to use it right away or use it before the 1st of May. So yeah, there you go. My 2 gifts for you. So yeah. All right. So yeah, those are my presents to you guys. So got 2 codes going on now. Got Freya, which is good until tomorrow, and then Ostara, free reading for the spring, and it's good until May Day. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's not the way I wanted to end. It's not the way I wanted to end, but I hope you guys had an awesome day, and of course, I will try to get the good ending soon. So until then, I will see you tomorrow. Please take it easy, stay healthy, get lots of good food, and of course, may your heart be a guiding key. Take care, everybody. Bye! Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. So maybe at some point, I may do, like, once again, I might do a read-along as well, because apparently read-alongs are a very popular thing now. I know visual novels are technically a read-along, but even so, I would like to read a story to you. So, like, if you want me to read like a bedtime story or something, or even a watch-along, because watch-along parties seem to be a big thing, especially considering now it's kind of been very huge to have watch-along parties. But yeah, so the new series based on Celeste Ng's novel Little Flowers Everywhere, starring Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington, # not sponsored. It's coming out, it just came out on Hulu. The first 3 episodes just came out on Hulu today. So I was thinking maybe I could do like a watch along party for like the latter 2 episodes, because I'm gonna watch the first episode tonight. So anyway, if you guys want to like watch it along with me, I'm not gonna put it on here obviously, so yeah, no. But other than that, if you guys want to watch along with me, let me know, because it would be nice to have some company. I actually might even have like a collaborative stream with other people, so that'll be kind of fun. But anyway, gonna end it properly this time, so thank you very much once again for watching this video. Very, very epic fail, but I will figure it out. So thank you for being patient for this stream. So until next time, I'll see you later, and may your heart be your guiding key. I'm trying to end this perfectly, but I can't remember how this piano piece ends. Okay, I think I should be good. See you next time. Bye. I can't say bye! Ah! Okay, it should be good now. Okay. May your heart be your guiding key. Bye, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay classy. And don't forget to be awesome. I can't tell when it ends! Okay, you know what? Stay classy, may your heart be your guiding key, and I will see you tomorrow. Definitively. Not that long skip thing. Definitively. Okay. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Oh, finally, I thought I would never be done. Okay. Bye!